What's going on, guys? Welcome to the Thrive Forever Fit Show, first episode of 2022. If you're a first-time listener, this is the most electrifying, positivity, abundance-based podcast on the internet today. We talk about human transformation and optimization. We talk about living your absolute best life. We talk about happiness, abundance, awesomeness, all the things that you need to create the life that you deserve and desire. It's really just that simple. So first and foremost, how you doing? What's going on? How's 2022 treating you so far? I'm having a good year. I'm gonna be honest, we're 3 or 4 days in, but I mean, I'm loving it. I'm feeling like we got a lot of momentum right now. I know at least I do, and I hope you're creating that momentum for yourself. 2021 was kind of one of those how you do and keep it moving kind of years, get out of here. We had enough of you. And so what I've noticed and why I decided to do this podcast on this particular topic today is because we are in the midst of a brand new year. And what happens when the new year comes around? We all start talking about New Year's resolutions and all the things we're going to do and all the dreams and goals and aspirations. And I'm going to be honest with you, I love that shit. I think that's cool, man. I think we definitely need to be striving and wanting and desiring and going for more out of our lives. I think a lot of us are settling for mediocre existences, which are it's just silly. We don't have to do that. We don't need to do that. And I'm gonna be honest with you, we just can't do that anymore. Like we've had a couple of years of just mediocre nonsense. And it's time for all of us to get on board. I get on the bus and get ready to drive to Momentum Town and just keep having amazing experiences with each other, treating each other with just the highest level of respect. I mean, that's something we got to get way better at this year. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I think you agree with me as well. But so what I'm watching is, and what I'm hearing is, and this is from my clients and a lot of people around me. And if you go on, you go on Facebook, you see, I mean, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this. I'm going to add this. I'm going to read 17,000 books. I'm going to climb Kilimanjaro. I'm going to run 14 marathons. I'm going to lose 7,000 pounds. Like I'm going to do all these things. So what I'm going to talk about today are things that I want you to get rid of. So instead of adding things to your life, which a lot of you have already done with your New Year's resolution, I'm going to ask you to get rid of some stuff. So we're going to declutter the house, if you will. We're going to clean out the garage and get ourselves ready for the ability to do all of those amazing things that you want to do all those really cool, awesome things that you've declared to the universe that you're going to do this year. I'm going to help you. And I'm going to help you by getting rid of some things that are holding you back. So we're going to talk about 13 things today that you need to give up in 2022. And if you give up these 13 things, if you stop doing these 13 things, I can make you a 100% money back guaranteed, no hands down promise that your life will be exponentially better. There's just no doubt about it. It will be so much better than it is today. And some of you are like, easy, Joker. My life's pretty good. And listen, so is mine. But I'm going to give up these 13 things. And I know if I'm willing to give them up and have an exponentially better life, why shouldn't I offer the same options to you? Why shouldn't I tell you what I'm doing? So maybe you can get on board. Maybe we do it together, have a whole lot of shitload of fun. Maybe we make a whole boatload of money this year. Just abundance just coming at us from everywhere. Maybe we get in the best shapes of our lives. Maybe we have the best, deepest relationships we've ever had. Maybe life is just so freaking amazing. We just don't even know what to do. And maybe we did all that by getting rid of some stuff. So let's start with number one. Number one is negativity. Pretty simple, right? Like it makes sense to get rid of negativity. Caveat here, negativity from yourself and from others. So what that means is like the negative self-talk, that shit talk you do to yourself, beating yourself up, the guilt, the shame, all the things you say to you. I mean, some of you guys talk to yourselves horribly. Like if you talk to other people the way you spoke to yourself, you'd be in a fist fight every day. Like you would have zero friends. And so what I want you to do is be kinder to yourself. Hold yourself accountable. Don't let yourself be just a dumpster fire, but be kind to yourself. And then the negativity from others, like you just don't need it, right? We've done that. We've done 2 years of bullshit. Let's just call it what it is. So the last thing we need is external negativity by choice, like allowing people into our worlds that bring chaos and drama and negativity. Don't do it anymore. We're cleaning house. Remember, we're cleaning the garage. We're getting rid of all that stuff. And you don't have to make some kind of proclamation or declaration about this. You can simply just move away from those people, because here's the truth. If you'll start vibrating at a positive frequency, I'm going to talk a lot about frequency this year. Like I'm really big on like energy and frequency, and I don't go down that rabbit hole, Jay. We'll be here for 7 hours. But I can promise you this: positivity and negativity have such different frequencies that they repel each other. And so if you remove negativity from yourself and you start vibrating in a positive aura, those negative people that are in your life will naturally be repelled, and there'll be a distance created between you, and you won't have to do a thing except for continue to be positive. All right, I won't beat that horse to death. That's only number 1. You're like, holy shit, we got 13 of these. Number 2 is drama. And I put the same caveat on this one: from yourself and from others. Like, guys, drama doesn't show up at your doorstep. Well, pause. It can in the form of another human being. But you, in your own personal drama, you either create it, you manifest it, you find it, you somehow are part of the problem. So if you're someone who has a lot of drama in your life, realize that if you'll stop creating it, you'll stop nourishing it, you'll stop finding it, you'll stop seeking it out, it will cease to exist. And the same thing kind of goes for the dramatic people in your life as it does for the negative people in your life. If you'll stop it, they'll stop coming to you with it. Get what I'm saying? Let's move on. Number 3 is self-doubt. I see this as the number 1. This is in the top 5 reasons why most people don't live their best life. Is because some way, shape, or form, somewhere along the way, somebody convinced you to doubt yourself. Somebody convinced you to doubt how smart you are, how awesome you are, your abilities, your capabilities, what you can be, do, and have. Like somewhere along the way, somebody put into your brain that you're not worthy, or you're not capable, or you shouldn't think that you should have these things. And I'm going to tell you right now, it's complete 100% BS. It's complete nonsense. You have got to stop doubting yourself. Believe in yourself, guys. It's one of the most fundamental key principles of life is your self-belief. Like you have to believe that you can be, do, and have anything you desire. You have to believe that. Like you can manifest, and you can have affirmations, and you can have gratitude, and you can go through all the steps that the gurus tell you to do. You can go through all the steps that I tell you to do. But unless you believe that what you're saying, what you're writing, what you're thinking, all those little things, unless you believe that it's possible, you'll never get it. You'll never have more than you believe you deserve. That's in every facet of life. That's love, that's money, that's fitness, that's just success in general. You'll never have more than you believe you deserve. Guys, start believing you deserve it. And let me tell you what, if you'll go back and look at number 1 and 2, the negativity and the drama, that's holding you back. Those 2 things create self-doubt because they're negative frequencies. They actually diminish your light. If you thought of yourself as this giant ball of light, this giant ball of energy, which is really all you are, and if you could conceptualize yourself as that, negativity and drama dim your light, and they prevent you from shining as bright as you were born to shine. And that's where that self-doubt comes in. If you'll remove 1 and 2, negativity and drama, you will naturally start to become more self-aware. You'll naturally become to get more just belief. Like you'll actually stand a little taller. You'll smile a little bigger. Your eyes will be a little brighter. Your heart will be more full. And you can't lose. But I need you to believe in yourself. Number 4, comparison. I call this social media fugazi, right? A lot of you guys are spending so much time on social media and you're comparing your life to somebody's social media life. And I've talked about this in the past, but I want to tell you unequivocally, I know this to be true. I know what I'm going to, gosh, you don't want to throw a whole bunch of people under the bus, Jay. You want to keep this positive. You want to make, okay, I'm back. Here's the deal. I know for a stone cold fact that a lot of people, what they're posting on social media is not the truth about their lives. It's some version of the truth, right? It's fugazi, it's fake, it's not real. You guys have got to stop comparing your life to someone else's curated social media life. I'm going to give you a couple of examples just because I have to. You guys will see like people online, they'll post, oh my gosh, like I was published in this particular magazine. And listen, I know people who've been published in magazines appropriately, right? They've actually written articles, or magazines have come to them and said, hey, I'd like you to write an article. Hey, we'd like to feature you in this magazine. And so I know when it's real and when it's not, and here's how I'll tell you. So the other day I see this guy and he's posted, oh, hey, I was just on the cover of Forbes and I was just on the cover of Entrepreneur. And I'm like, whoa, holy shit, man. Hell yeah. That's awesome. That is, hell yeah. I love that. And then I look down in the right-hand corner and it has this little sticker that says Mindset Media. And I said, well, that looks weird. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to see what that is. I Google it, Mindset Media. I fill out the little form on there. Guy calls me up. Hey, Jay, I'd like to talk to you. Hey, man, hey, Jay, how would you like to be on the cover of Forbes? I'm like, well, I do not think I'm qualified for that. I appreciate you. Hey, Jay, how would you like to be on the cover of Entrepreneur magazine? I love it. Hell yes, love it. But I said, cool, tell me more, bro. He said, well, hey, man, if you'll give us $20,000, I can get you on the cover of these 3 magazines. I'm like, whoa, so hey, wait a minute, what? So, okay. He's like, okay. He said, but for 10 G's, here's where I can get you. I can get you on the cover of this magazine. I can get you a little article on the inside. I'm like, oh, okay, bro, I appreciate you. How you doing? Keep it moving. I'm not interested, right? That's fugazi. Like, I don't want to be on the cover of a magazine fakely that I paid to be on. That's what a lot of this bullshit on the internet is. And listen, I'm not throwing people under the bus. I guess I am, but I'm not trying to. What I'm trying to get you to understand is that don't believe everything you see on the internet. Let's talk about best-selling authors. I've written 2 books. Neither one of them are number 1 bestsellers. And here's why. Because I didn't play the game. And here's the game. Here's what you do. If you want to be a best-selling author, here's what you do. You write a book, which is not easy. Anybody who's written a book, hey, yes, I'm going to tell you right now, I've done it twice. Pain in the ass. You want to self-doubt yourself. Go back to number 3, write a couple books. Like it is a process. But here's what the caveat is. Here's where they go south. Instead of just saying, hey, I wrote a book, man, you should read this book, and getting people to buy your book. Somebody told me one time, a buddy of mine said, hey, man, you know what I appreciate about you? He's like, you've never played the book game. You've always sold your book for probably more expensive than that son bitch is even worse, Jay. And I said, you know what? You're right. I was like, you know how much it costs to write a book? I mean, I've written 2 books. Both of them cost me over $10,000 to write. Over 10 G's, right? Because I wanted to do it right. I wanted to go through the process right. So hell yeah, I sold that some bitch for more than probably it was even worth. But I didn't play the game. Here's the game. Here's what you do. You write a book, and then you publish an ebook version of it, digital ebook. You put it on Amazon, and then you sell that thing for 99 cents. And then you put it in a category that is not even the category that your book should be in, right? So if you look at my book, let's look at The Overweight Mind, for example. The overweight mind is in nutrition, fitness, and weight loss. You want to get your ass kicked in the book world? Go into that world. My book actually got to number 2 in the real category it was supposed to be in, selling for $25 damn. Guess who was ahead of me? Dr. Steven Gundry. For those of you guys who don't know who Steven Gundry is, world-renowned like diabetes specialist, weight loss guru. Listen, I'll be number 2 to that son bitch. I'm happy to be. But here's what you do. You sell your book for 99 cents in underwater basket weaving or international freaking, it's some weird category that nobody writes a book in. You get 100 of your friends to pay 99 cents to buy the book. You're a bestseller. That simple. It's that simple. And listen, if you've done that and you're listening, you want to be mad at me, send me a message, right? We'll have a chat about it. If you want to tell me it's legit and that's a cool way to do it, and you're cool with jerking people around, then I'm cool with you jerking people around. Like however you need to get through the day is how you got to get through the day. But what I'm talking to are you guys that are comparing yourselves to those people. Like I'm not throwing shade at them. If that's what they want to do to get to where it is they feel like they need to go, then do both of those things, right? Pay 20 grand to be on a magazine cover. Sell your book for 99 cents in a Fugazi category. You got to sleep at night, not me, right? But I'm talking to you guys that are comparing yourselves to those people. Don't. It's a show, right? It's a show. That's why it's called Fake Book. It's just a show, guys. Don't get caught up in the show. It's like the shows you watch on Netflix. It's not real, right? So don't compare your real life to somebody's fake life. You're awesome. You're freaking awesome. Get around people who believe you're awesome, who help you do awesome things. Life will be so much better for you. Number 5, we've got to stop the programmed fear, right? And what I mean by that is the programmed fear is what we've been living with for the last 2 years. We're not going to get into the details of that, but you've got to stop allowing yourself to be programmable to fear, to hate, to anything. And you've got to start pausing and just saying, wait a minute. That doesn't make sense. I don't care who says it, right? I don't care who was on the TV screen, who was on the radio, who was anywhere. That pause and say, if that doesn't make sense, should I allow myself to be scared of it? Should I allow myself to live in fear? Some people have been living in their closet for 2 years because of the news, because of the mass media. We have got to stop this programmed fear. We've got to start getting realistic about what things really are. We've got to stop hearing a soundbite and thinking that it's like it's the holy grail of information. Hear your soundbite and then do your own research. Do your own research on platforms that aren't controlled by the media company. There's plenty of information out there to find about anything in the world that you want to find that's not biased. But unfortunately, most of the information that you are being delivered is biased. It's BS. So stop allowing yourself to be programmed. Deprogram yourself by shutting off those noises. Number 6 is judgment. And some of you guys are like, you son of a bitch. You just judged a whole lot of people for paying 20 grand to be on the cover of a magazine and selling a book for 99 cents. I want to be honest. That was not my purpose. If it came off as judgment, T's and P's, sorry, did not mean that. All I'm trying to get people to understand is don't believe everything you see on the social media, right? But I have to give those examples so people really understand what's going on. But I'm not judging you. If you need to do those things for yourself, I am all for it. But you have to know that you are not telling people the truth, right? And when you don't tell people the truth, that creates problems, right? And that's half of the problem of the world we're living in right now is there's a lot of half and mistruths being given and projected and who's real and who's not. And it's just got to stop. So number 6, judgment of yourself and others, right? You gotta understand that, like, it kind of goes back to that comparison. It goes back to the self-doubt. It goes back to the drama and the negativity. A lot of these are really just connected. Guys, judging yourself so harshly is the failing formula. Judging other people is a failing formula. Sometimes you got to just let people be who they're going to be. And again, some of you guys are like, well, I know what I said, but I had to make a point. And I'm not judging those people. If that is what they need to do, then hats off. But what I don't want you to do is be fooled by it. Okay? So let's talk about the judgment of yourself. When you judge yourself, guys, you basically disempower yourself from achieving anything that you think you're going to achieve. This is why most people's New Year's resolutions won't come to fruition, because they'll be so hard on themselves the first time they hit an adversity and don't do exactly what they said they were going to do, that they'll quit. Then they'll have shame. Then they'll have guilt. Then they'll beat themselves up. And then it'll be just right back into that dark circle of hell that they've been living in for so long, because they judge themselves on each and every stumble. The key is to get around a bunch of awesome people that when you stumble, they pick you up. They reach down and give you a hand. They get you back in the game. They help you do the things that you want to do. And really, that's where the judgment of others comes from. Like when we harshly judge other people, it's usually just because we don't really understand what it is that they think or believe or why they're doing what they're doing. And as a human, when we don't understand something, we think we have to destroy it. We think we have to get rid of it. We think it must be wrong. We think, well, there can't be two ways to do one thing, which is obviously completely false. Number 7, procrastination. Some of you guys are just waiting. You're just waiting for the perfect moment. You're waiting for this to come or that to come or this thing to finish or what. Guys, the truth of the matter is there's never going to be a perfect time. There's always going to be life. There's always going to be an event. There's always going to be a setback. There's always going to be winter. There's always going to be rain. There's always going to be cold. There's always going to be something that is going to be less than advantageous for you achieving the things that you want to achieve. And so if we know that, we just have to start anyway. We just have to start in the face of adversity. Sometimes in the face of adversity is the very best place to start. Oftentimes, if we wait for the perfect time and then we perceive that perfect time has arrived, well, hell, I don't want to mess this up. Things are too perfect. I'll wait till this happens. And then we just make another excuse and we never really get going. Just start. Start small. Here's another reason perfectionism is procrastination is such a problem. We judge, right? We judge ourselves, we compare ourselves, and we think, well, I'm not ready yet. I'm going to wait until I get to that person's level, then I'm going to start. Or I'm going to start whenever, and it's just never going to be the perfect time. You just got to go now. The next one is kind of another problematic P word. It's perfectionism. Perfectionism, or the belief that there's even the potential to be perfect, is the lowest form of accountability known to man. I know that sounds crazy. How could perfectionism be the lowest form of accountability? Because it's a failing formula. It doesn't exist. There's no such thing. You're going to not be perfect. And then when you're not perfect, then you judge and shame the shit out of yourself and you set yourself back 10 steps. Stop the conceptualization that perfectionism is even, or the rationalization that perfectionism is even an option. Focus on progress. You're never going to be perfect. I don't care who you are, what you do, what you want to do. It's never going to be perfect. You're going to stumble. You're going to fall. You're going to get bloody. You're going to get beat up. You're going to make mistakes. You're going to make a decision that's not the best decision in that time. But the best thing to do is just understand that it's about the progress and not perfection. Focus on just making small incremental changes in your life that cumulatively add up to awesomeness. But there's zero truth in perfectionism. If you're someone who thinks that anything can be perfect, you're setting yourself up for consistent failure. Number 9. I don't even want to say it. I got in trouble the other day on the damn internet for saying this. Stop the attention-seeking behavior. And here's why I say that. It's not a formula that's going to produce results for you long term. Here's what you need to understand. You're plenty. You're enough. That's it. You're enough. Like, you don't need the approval of strangers on the internet. You don't need likes. You don't need hearts. You don't need validation from people that you don't even know. You don't even need validation from people that you know. You need to validate yourself. I put a post up the other day and I was just feeling funny. And I was like, hey, I am just thankful I grew up in a time where my mom didn't have to show her tits and dance on the internet for attention from strangers. Well, that hurt some feelings, right? Some people got pissed. Somebody said, oh, I'm going to unfollow you. And I said, well, I mean, you won't be the first. Basically said, I can't believe that you care what women do with their body. And I said, whoa. That was not what I was saying. I'm a be you do you guru, whatever. You do what you need to do. I was simply saying, like, if you think back, I'm 47 years old. So I look at my mom, I look at Barbara Nixon. And I'm like, I don't think you would have made it, Mom. Like, I'm gonna be honest with you, you would have sucked at this, right? And I mean, my mom, I can't see my mom doing the accidental fake cleavage shot, right, 1,000 times, right, on Instagram. I mean, you get caught with your titties out every once in a while. It happens to me occasionally. And somebody takes a picture and you post it on the internet and you get a bunch of likes and hearts and blah, blah, blah. I just don't think my mom would have been good at that. I've been alive for 47 years. I don't think I've ever seen my mom dance. So for my mom to have to do a damn TikTok video where she's dancing and pointing and tapping and ticking and doing all the things, all I was saying is this: I'm glad my mom didn't have to do that. That's it. Well, people got mad at me because I was telling women what they can and can't do with their bodies. Like, listen, if you are a dancer, dance. If you like to show your tatas, show your tatas. I'm all for it. But I'm just telling you, you don't have to. You don't have to. Like, you're enough, right? Like, the attention you're going to get from that from a stranger is going to be fleeting, right? As soon as the click happens and you see you got how many clicks, and then the next day what happens, right? And that you're hoping that same stranger validates you. Just know that you're plenty. You're awesome. Like, all humans are awesome, and you're awesome just for being you. You don't have to do all that stuff. If you need to, do it. That's all I'm saying. If you got to do it, if you're a dancer, like, I'm not a dancer, right? I just try to throw a move right there, almost through a hip, right? And I always ask myself, like, if I was a girl, I really do. I have this thought. I'm like, if I was a girl, would I show my titties on the internet? I don't know. I can't answer that question. Maybe I would. No, deep thoughts, right? Who knows? I do not know. Maybe I would. But I just don't think it's necessary, right? You're beautiful. You're gorgeous. You don't need to do all that. Number 10, manipulation. We got to stop manipulating everything, right? Just be real. Like, just be honest. Just be the best version of yourself, right? Like, right now we're in a state of information manipulation, human manipulation. Like, we try to we want to manipulate this group of people to believe this certain thing so that they do this certain thing, and we want to manipulate other people to do. I mean, we are just in this state of where we have just gotten to a point of, we just lost the human connectivity of just be a kick-ass human. Like, stop trying to manipulate other human beings to believe what you believe. Just let people believe what they want to believe. Right? Who cares if you agree with it or disagree with it or whatever? It goes back to what I'm talking about. Like, if you're a dancer on the internet, I don't disagree with that. I was simply making a statement that thank God my mom didn't have to do that. I just think she would have been awful at it. But I'm not judging anybody who does it. Knock yourself out. But the manipulation kind of goes back to that thing I was talking about paying $20,000 to be on a fake cover of a magazine. Right? Like, that's manipulation. Like, you're manipulating people's perception of who you are. You don't need to do that. You're awesome. You're a human being. Like, you're the most awesome creature on the planet. You don't need to manipulate people to think you're cooler than you are. You're cool. Look at all the things you can do. You're the most amazing creature on the planet. You don't need to manipulate your existence for validation. You just don't need to do it. Just be the best version of you. Like, show up as an amazing, kick-ass human being, and that you'll get all the validation you could ever want. Help a shitload of people. You'll get all the validation you would ever want. And you don't have to do any of that other stuff. Number 11, you got to stop quitting on yourself. You got to stop giving up at the first sign of adversity. You got to stop giving up at the first challenge that comes your way. You got to stop giving up because you just don't feel like it today. I understand there's going to be some days that you don't feel like it, but you can't quit today, right? Just push it off one more day. Like, we've all heard that out. Don't quit today. Maybe quit tomorrow, right? But not today. Tell yourself that. Next time you think about quitting, say, okay, like, I can quit if I want, but it's not today. I'll quit tomorrow. And then tomorrow you talk yourself out of it again. And you just keep showing up for yourself. You just keep being the best version of who you are. It's kind of all encompassing, right? Like, everything we're kind of talking about today is kind of all encompassing. Like, understand that, something I ask people all the time when they're getting ready to quit on themselves. The question is simple. What's the alternative? Like, what's the alternative to when you quit? Like, what else are you going to do? If you'll ask yourself that question, and if you'll simply say to yourself, like, one more sunrise, that's all I got to do. I got to get to one more sunrise there, and I can make a new decision. One more new day. Then I can make a decision on what I'm going to do. Right. And I'm not saying you can't shift and pivot and change and do those things. But I'm talking about giving up on yourself and thinking that this is as good as it's going to be. I promise you, this doesn't have to be as good as it's going to be. It can be better. You can be better. You can have more. You can do more. You can be more. But when you quit, you can't. Right? And here's what I want you guys to understand. Failing, falling, stumbling, getting run over is not quitting, as long as you're willing to get back up. Right? And the thing I would tell you about that is find an amazing group of humans that will reach down and help you get back up. Number 12 is excuses. And I know we talk about this is huge, right? Like, oh, here we go, you son of a. Guys, aren't we, isn't it getting old, right? Aren't those same excuses just getting old? I tell the story all the time. My life changed exponentially when I stopped believing my own bullshit. Truth. My life changed exponentially when I stopped believing my own bullshit, which were my own excuses about why I was where I was and why I didn't have what I didn't have, and boo-hoo, woe is me, feeling sorry for myself. My life changed exponentially as soon as I gave those up. So give up those excuses. They don't work for you. You know the end result, right? What's the definition of insanity? Continue to do the same thing over and over again and expect a different result. So if you've got plans, if you've got goals, if you've got aspirations, and you're using the same set of excuses, you're going to keep getting the same thing you've got. Like, your life is on repeat, right? You could basically just take your life, take a block of it, move it over 6 weeks. It's going to be the same exact week. Move it over another 6 weeks. It's going to be the same exact life, because you're taking those and using those excuses to create a life you don't even want. Your excuses are keeping you stuck in a life that you don't even want. You don't even love. And you deserve to love your life. Number 13 is settling for average. We have got to stop settling for average. Average anything. Average relationships, average health, average wealth, average anything. Like, stop settling for it. You were born for greatness. You're an amazing human being. You have the ability to be, do, and have anything in the world that you desire. I know some of you guys don't believe that right now. And maybe that's the first step. You've got to start believing in yourself in micro doses. Start microdosing belief. Start microdosing self-belief. Start microdosing trusting yourself, and then build upon that every single day and get a little further away from average. Get a little further away from average thoughts. Get a little further away from average words, from average actions. Like, start to pay attention to how you think, what you think. And then ask yourself, why am I thinking that? Like, why don't I believe I deserve more? And then start developing the habits and the standards and the rituals that will get you to believe that you deserve more, that you can have more. I promise you, when you start winning, you won't stop. When you get enough momentum to start winning, you won't stop that momentum. You'll do everything in your power to go get it. Some of you guys just don't have that momentum right now. And the best way to get that momentum is to give up these 13 things. The best way to get that momentum is to get yourself around people who are willing to give up these 13 things. You've got to create positive momentum in your life. Let's go back to the energy and the frequency. You've got to be around humans that are exuding positive energy and positive frequency. It will change your life. And if you're someone who's thinking negatively, you're going to be repelled by those positive people. But what that's telling you is you've got to shift. What can I do? I've got to start thinking just a little bit differently. And when those negative thoughts arise, you've got to stop yourself in your tracks and say, no, that's not what I think. Here's what I know I'm capable of. I know I can be, do, and have anything I desire. And here's what I'm going to do to get it. And then set yourself up a micro habit that you can repeat every single day. It might be getting up 10 minutes earlier. It might be writing down your gratitude every single morning before you do anything else. And I promise you, if you'll do that, it will change the frequency of your life. It will change the frequency of your day. If you get up every morning, follow my ritual. As soon as your eyes open, say, oh, thank you. Holy shit, I'm alive. Here we go. And then you go and you write down your gratitude, and it will change the frequency of your being. It will actually increase heat in your body. It will make you vibrate at a higher level. Your heart will open. That energy ball that I talked about will become so bright and so powerful that you will start to repel anything that gets in the way of you living that life that you deserve and desire, that life of awesomeness and abundance and happiness and joy and peace and freedom. God, I get so excited when I talk about it, and I want it for you. I can't create it for you. I can help you get it by just being a positive beacon for you. And so make a promise to me right now. Make a promise to yourself right now that you will give up these 13 things. And will it be easy? No, right? Sometimes I'm a dipshit. I find myself trying to be perfect. Sometimes I'm a dipshit and I find myself, I'm like, whoa, hey man, leave that person alone. Like, that's just because you don't understand what it is that they're doing or why they're doing. It's none of your damn business. And I have to say, you know what? You're right. You're right. I got thank you. Right? Sometimes you got to have conversations with yourself. Like, you got to be your own coach sometimes. We all doubt ourselves sometimes. And then you have to call on that inner champ, that inner coach, and be like, no, sir, we can do this. We can do this, Jay. There's a way, buddy. Right? That's how I talk to myself. You got to start talking to yourself like that. So you're not going to be perfect. Don't worry about that. Progress over perfection. Write these 13 things down and then begin to chip away at them. And the further you get away from them, the less they're going to present themselves in your life. I have very few people I don't have anybody in my life that's full of drama. I don't have anybody in my life that's negative. And when they come into my life just by chance, they're repelled so quickly, it's ridiculous. Because I exude such a positive energy and attitude, they don't want anything to do with me. They don't want to be around me. Like, I'm like Raid to a roach. Like, they do not want anything to do with me, and it's going to be the same thing for you. So just know, guys, that it's possible. 13 things to give up in 2022. Listen to the words I'm using. You guys have to pay attention to the language, right? Let's create a 2022 that when we look back on it is going to blow our minds. at the awesomeness and abundance that we've created for ourselves and for those around us. You win as a team, right? We is greater than me. Let's create it. Let's actually just do it this year. I'm going to do it. And I got a big bus. I want you on it, right? Jump on the bus and let's go. Let's create some momentum. Let's stay inspired. Let's create awesomeness and abundance. Let's have the best freaking year of our lives. You want to do it? Cool. All right. Couple options for you, right? I've got a private coaching program called Thrive Forever Fit. If you're interested, if you don't know how to get a hold of me by now, I mean, come on. Thrive Forever Fit. You can actually just go to thriveforeverfit.com if you want inquiry about that. It's a private coaching program, group program, the most amazing humans on the planet. I do one-on-one coaching if you're interested in that, if you're not a group person. And then I've also got a free Facebook group called Wellness Lab Launchpad. Get over there, be a member of that. I do free trainings in there. I answer questions in there, do it all. So get yourself around a positive group of humans this year. Start with me. We'll figure it out for you. We'll figure out where you need to go. Let's just make this year freaking awesome. All right, guys. Love you. Talk to you soon. Here we go. 2022 coming for you.